The time has come. It's so good to see everybody. Thank you. Okay, I don't know about y'all, but I don't know if it's the warm weather or getting out and about since everything's starting to open, but I'm just going here, there, and everywhere. So I found a quote. Of course, it kind of corresponds with the theme. So it's about a tree, and it's be like a tree, stay grounded, keep growing, and know when to let go. And that last part is definitely what I need to start doing. So with that, I am going to let Denise come up here with membership, and I'm going to let go of the mic and let her tell you about our membership, which is fantastic. And she does such a good job. Yay, Denise.
It's been an interesting year because we've not been able to meet in January and February. So as of March 10th, yesterday, I have 53 new members for the year, and that's new members that, are in the directory that registered, by July 31st, and new members since September. And then we have 435 members for the year. And then I would like, I don't know that there's many here, but I would like, since January, I've had about 8 to 10 new members. So if you're here, we'd like you to stand up and tell us how you found Kiowa. Here on the east side or the west side, if you don't mind. Barbara Clements. She tried to come to the last week, but she said she wanted her second vaccine before she came. She wanted to meet people, but she wanted to have her second vaccine. Karen Erickson, I think she works. Mary Kendall. Kathy.
She wanted to come. She's probably watching us streaming. So say hi, Mary.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Mary. Kathy LaPravas. Catherine Moses. And my new members are on 2 pages now. Okay. Jennifer Shumate. She works. Tricia Smith. Lauren Webb. And Gina Williams. I think. You might stand up and saying where you're from and how you found Kiowa, where you live.
I'm Gina Williams. I moved here December 7th from Frisco, and I found Kiowa from Becky Weber. I was visiting, since she's moved here, I've been visiting with Becky, and that's how I found Kiowa.
And thank you, Nancy, for being here.
Thank you. Has everyone received their directory?
We have
Brand new one today.
We have one more.
Okay, we have a new guest. We have a new guest,
Yes, we do.
and I know her. This is Angie Hare, and her husband is John Hare, who is our part-time minister for chapel on Sunday mornings at 8 o'clock. And they have moved to the neighborhood.
You just said it all.
Well, she said she's retired, so hi. She's here. Not us.
And if you have joined and haven't received your directory for the year, I have them. Oh, you still need one. I have extras, or you should be able to get yours if you have not received yours. I dropped some off at mailboxes. I dropped like 70 into mailboxes back in October. So if you haven't gotten it, I have extras.
Okay.
Oh, one other thing. Tell me your name.
I'll vouch for her.
No, I recognize your name. The other thing is, we will be, this is something for the new year, and our new year starts for September to May. So our membership drive will be May, June, and July, mainly June. But deadline is July to be able to be printed in the directory for next year. I need 2 volunteers that are available May 4th to stuff the membership application to the POA at the POA office. It'll be basically 9 to 9:30 is all on May 4th. If we've got a couple people from the board, Julie's gonna help, that are gonna help. So I've got like 6 people. I need 6 people, and I just need 2 more to volunteer to do that. If you're available and want to do that. Okay, but
When is it?
May 4th, it's a Tuesday at 9 o'clock, and we'll meet at the POA. Great, thank you.
All right, Tina has given me the report, the treasury report, and there is one at each table too, if you're wanting to look at it, as I try to read it. For the general operating account, we have an ending balance of $15,307.24. The membership account obviously is at $25 right now. And I don't know if Denise said that or not, but it's $10 now to join, right? For March. And the savings account is at $18,991.66 for a total cash value of $34,323.90. And then down at the bottom is the income and the expenses for this month. Any questions? Hopefully not. I might not have answers. Okay, and then I'm going to call on Judy Neal to come on up to share with us the cards that she has sent out.
You're gonna listen to a lot of names.
It's all good in the end, though.
Oh, yes. And I did print a copy of what I've sent since December the 20th. So that's why you have a lot of names, since we haven't been able to meet. I sent a card to Janelle Lemons. Her husband had a stroke. Peggy Badgeon's husband also had surgery. Nancy Bryan had multiple hospitalizations, but is doing better, although she's going to have shoulder and knee surgery. Joan Carroll, husband fell and had to have surgery, and he's now in hospice, by the way. Joan had ovarian cancer and is being treated for that. Janelle Cahoon, we thought she had breast cancer. She does not. That's wonderful, isn't it? Melanie Cade, at that time, her husband was hospitalized with COVID. Diane Wilson had a knee replacement. Sue Eagle had a fall and lost her best friend. Pat Morgan had a stroke and she's improving. Peggy Lewis and her husband both had COVID. Denise Thompson had COVID and she's fully recovered. Gidget Hyman had COVID. June Cloud was hospitalized due to pancreatitis and kidney issues. I typed liver, it was kidney. I don't know why I did that. That was all thinking of you and get well cards up until February the 9th. Sympathy cards, I sent one to Kathy Cecil. She lost her daughter. Shirley Sturm is Kathy's mom, so I sent her a sympathy card as well. Jan Sabek lost her husband, Dawn. Melanie Cade's husband did pass away from complications of COVID. Janelle Cahoon was his mother-in-law, so I sent her a card as well. Levon Juka lost her husband, David. Kathy C. lost her mother. Renee Beerhart lost her dad. And her dad was, thank you, Jeannie Northern's husband. Yeah. Donna Chapman lost her mom, Peggy Ashton. Lorraine Nix lost her mother-in-law. Debbie Heath lost her granddaughter, sadly. Sharon James lost her brother-in-law, who has fought the valiant fight. And we sent a birthday card to Luella McAnally, that Pat Morgan's mom. She was 102. And she's still strong. Then, from February 10th to today, I sent Jane Sweet a congratulations cards on her good surgery, and she's grateful to God for all of her blessings. Her surgery went well, but she is going to need some treatment in about 6 weeks. Lynn Sycon had complications due to surgery, so she got a get well card. Judy Garner is now in Munster Hospital rehab after having a stroke, and she's doing well, I hear. Sally Derflinger is home, and she's in hospice care. Jenny Schmidt is having surgery today to hopefully clear her lung of some blood clots. And a longtime member of Kiowa, Jackie Waghorn passed away Sunday morning. So that's all I have. If anybody has somebody that you'd like to have a card, prayers or whatever, contact me or anybody on the board, and I'll see if that gets out.
Or even if you want me to post a prayer chain too, because I don't hear everything about everybody. For Karen, are you wanting to say something? No. Okay, hard to believe, however, minutes now of the December meeting. That's how long it's been. They've been read a while back and approved a while back by the executive board and posted to the website. So do I have a motion to waive the reading of the December minutes? And I really hope I do, because I didn't bring up Judy Hughes. And second is Genevieve Avenger. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, so I do not have to read them now. I need a motion to approve the December minutes. Maryland Board and Karen Marcotte is second. Okay, all those in favor? All those opposed? Good. We'll now go into the department announcements, and there actually are some announcements, so I'm really excited about that. Linda James is not here. However, she is going to plan to do something in May and even maybe something else in June, you know, if everything remains up and going as it is right now. Then we have Bible study, book review, garden and nature, and they have begun their meetings. And I hear that little by little, they're getting a little bit more crowded. So that's really nice. Bible study is in the assembly room right now, and book review, and correct me if I'm wrong, is in the southwest room. And as far as garden and nature, they met in the pavilion, so I'm not sure if they're getting, well, oh my gosh, it's field trip time for garden and nature the next month. So you guys need to look for announcements, because they're going to go to the Texas Tulip at Pilot Point. And that is going to be on April the 13th. We also have a field group with this group outside today, LeaAnne says. I'm not really sure.
After, supposedly, they're trying to set up the Garden and Nature's herb garden right outside this window while we're in here, because they want us afterwards to go out and look at it.
Surprise! That sounds great. All right. We also have Gourmet, and they are meeting when the groups want to meet, and I think that's starting up again. And everybody is excited about getting together and seeing everybody. And last but not least, Bridge and Canasta are starting to meet in April. Yay! I know a lot of, oh, come on. Yay! Okay, so I'm excited that everything's starting to open up and everybody's starting to be able to get together again. We'll go on to the committees now, and I have Miss Jamie here to talk to us about the fashion show. And she has music.
Hi, everybody, and Jamie Osborne, head of the fashion show for the second year in a row. And we're not doing the fashion show next month, just because, again, this COVID has messed everything up. So we will have a program next week. It's Lucy Sutton talking about circus. Gainesville Circus. So we all want to come, because I'm sure we're going to have trapeze and
Yes.
yeah, in pictures. But I did want to let you know that our committee has been working really hard still. We communicate quite a bit. There's a little Zoom and a little wine, but there is communication. But we have planned a surprise for everybody next month. So if you do come, you'll get to be a part and see the surprise. But just know it's just on a very limited basis, and we're still holding off until next year, as long as our president lets us continue. So just wanted to let you know, I'm sorry that we're not fashion showing again. We're dying to do this. We still have a great idea and we're sticking to it. So.
For all of your work and still hanging on, and keeping it going. Now I am going to, I lied, I'm going to say something and then I'll let you talk. I'm sorry. It's that time of year and we are having the nominating committee. They have met already and I believe they have a slate too, but I wanted to introduce them. Maureen and Sami, she is not here, but she is the chair, and her committee, if you are here, you can stand, is Jennifer Armanda, representing Arts and Crafts, Becky Bell, representing Bible Study, Kay Gregory, representing Book Review, Leslie McElroy, representing Bridge, Sarah Turner, representing Canasta, Brenda Fairbanks, representing Garden and Nature, and Becky Weber, representing Gourmet. So they have been hard at work, and I appreciate all of your extra time that you have designated and put into that. And along with that, we almost have all of the department chairs for next year. However, we are looking for 2 more. Can you guess what one of them is? It was last year too, and last year before that. It's been the same person probably for 3 years, 4 years. Linda James, Arts and Crafts, yes. So if anybody is interested in sharing that, if you could let any of the board members know, let Linda know. She has got a different format now so that she has guest speakers, so you're not having to do something every time. And since those guest speakers and those crafts have not been done this past year, they'll be done hopefully for next year. So if anybody would like to volunteer for that, that would be great. Also, Brenda is looking for somebody for Garden and Nature. So if you are interested in either one of those, if you would let somebody know, that would be fantastic. Now I'm going to give it over to LeaAnne, who will be sharing some exciting things that are going to be happening here at Kiowa.
Hopefully this works. So we are going to have Easter here at the lodge this year, and we're so excited to have something fun to do. There's quite a few events that are going on, and I have my slides in the wrong order, so I'm going to skip to the correct slide. But we are going to have a big weekend, as you can see. Thursday at the Pavilion, we're going to have a mixture of the Cruise Tones and the Renegades playing for from 5 to 9. They have promised me if I get them line dancing music that they will play that in intermissions when they're not playing their songs. So you guys have been challenged to provide me that. And then there will be a cash bar out there that night, so you guys can, BYOB or drink from the cash bar or whatever. But it's all going to be on the back patio. I mean, in the back 40. Anyways, Friday, we're going to have the Blandells. The Friends of Lake Kiowa have sponsored that event, and we're going to have a car show that goes along with it. That again is from 5 to 9, and the car show will be 5 to 7-ish. They'll come and go. They'll be here before 5, but some will probably leave later. So come enjoy the car show, walk through. The Blandells is 50s, 60s, 70s music, so it should be a good time. That also will have a cash bar back there, so BYOB or cash bar, whatever you want to do. On Saturday morning, we're gonna have, this is gonna go out in a weekly update too, by the way. And they're gonna be posters around the community, so you can, get a picture of it whenever you get time. But the, Saturday from 10 to 12, we're gonna have festivities at the lodge. We'll have face painting and a balloon maker, and we'll have kites on the beach. We're gonna provide, we've purchased 100 kites, so for, you know, the kids, they wanna come out there, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes, but we're gonna have 3 Easter egg hunts, because we wanna make sure that we give each child the right opportunity. So it'll be birth to 3. We don't expect any newborns to be running around out there, but you get the idea. Anyway, so birth to 3, and then 4 to 6, and then 7+. And those will be spread around the back and then down around the pavilion and over in that park south of the, or east of the parking lot, I guess. So anyways, that's gonna be from at 10, 10:15, and 10:30. And at 10:30, we're gonna open up in here with a, we'll have in the southwest room, a reservation only brunch. So if you guys want to, if you're bringing family or whatever, you can sign up and we'll have brunch in there for you guys. And then we're also gonna have mimosas and Bloody Marys and other stuff on the back patio during this time for all those that need to recover from Friday night. And anyways, so at 2 p.m. is the kidfish at the kidfish pond. And I did forget, it's not on here. I found out last night that there's also golf cart safety class that morning at 9. So if anyone has kids in town that are not, you know, certified or whatever, they can do that morning. So it's a jam-packed day. We're not going to have any concerts that night because it's the night before Easter. So the next morning, there'll be a sunrise service at the pavilion at 8 a.m. And then, which will be really exciting because we didn't have one last year. And so anyways, I'm excited. It's been a couple years since it's been outside. So, and then we'll have the Easter meal in here, and we'll have 2 settings, a 11 o'clock and a 1 o'clock setting. So, or seating. If you want to do that, it's reservations only again, but that meal, I believe, ranges, I think teenagers are 20, adults 35, and then kids are a little bit less than that. I'm not sure, I can't remember, but the brunch is $15 per person, so on Saturday. So I think I covered everything there. That was a lot, right? That's what I'm saying, yeah. So I wanted to explain what was going on so you'd understand where we need help. And I'm hoping to get more than just Women's Club to help. I'm hoping to get the Kiwanis and if any anglers would like to as well. So please, if you're part of a group and you will share, if you'll share this with them, we would really appreciate finding some volunteers. So we have the egg hunt, so we're gonna need some early birds. I'm not an early bird. So we'll need some early birds to put Easter eggs out there. Of course, I'll be here that day, but I'm really not an early bird. Lots of coffee. Anyway, so we're gonna need plenty of volunteers to put the Easter eggs out and get them ready for that morning. And then we're gonna need a couple of volunteers for the kite station. We'll have a couple tables out by the beach for the kites, but essentially what we need is people that are willing to help the kids put the kites together. And we can test it out the day before, but it's, you know, those kites are not necessarily easy peasy to put together. They take an adult hand oftentimes. So if we can get a couple volunteers for that, we need probably 1 or 2 volunteers to kind of keep the line in order for the face painting. Floral arrangements on the 1st, the morning of the 1st, which is a Thursday. We're going to need volunteers to put together floral arrangements. And this is kind of the one I saw some of you guys being part of. We're going to get all the flowers in that morning, and we want to decorate goblet, I don't know, the small vases, goblets. Can't think of the word. Anyways, so we have like 25. And we're gonna put them on the tables and display them at the brunch and that kind of stuff. So we're getting a wide variety of flowers, and we're just gonna do an assorted arrangement. So if anyone is interested in coming to help with that, I would love you. That is fresh flowers, yes. April 1st. I will, and bow making, yes. We're gonna have bow making festivities that morning as well. So if you have any talents or not, I don't care, just come on.
Is Linda gonna come? She can help us learn how to do that.
Linda, will you please come? I just asked her on YouTube. Hopefully she will. And then she's hopefully watching and laughing at home. So we need a bunny or two. We need someone to be willing to be the bunny. So I'm not necessarily asking y'all to be the bunny, but if you know someone that would want to be the bunny, that would be great. And there was one more thing that wasn't on this list yesterday that we were going to ask. I guess it was the bows.
Oh, the face painting, it was just to organize.
Say again?
You have a bunny suit?
We bought a bunny suit, and that's why I was cracking up over there, because Jamie, who is the new assistant over at the POA, texted me a minute ago with a picture. She said, "Oh my gosh, you can't open boxes with that in the top," and it's a picture of the bunny's face. It's like smashed into a bag. It's so funny. She's like, "Oh my gosh." She said, "That's a scary thing to oh. Here. Yeah, just like, oh, you mean for me to show you? Okay, I'll do that. Hopefully you can see it. She's like, "You need to prepare me better next time for what's coming in the mail." Anyways, that's all I have. If you guys, will just get with me, there's sign-up sheets in the back. And there was one that you didn't put back there. What was it?
The flowers.
Oh, the flowers.
It's on the printer at home.
I'll grab a piece of paper and I'll just put flowers up there. If you guys will please be willing to sign up your husband or sign up another person, I would greatly appreciate it. Not saying sign yourself up, I mean.
That's good. Didn't think about that. Okay, now is the moment I've been staying up all night reading Robert's Rules of Order for. We are going to get ready to take a vote. Before we do this, though, I do have to bring up again what it is, and I have to ask a question, or state the question. And it is moved and seconded by the board that KWC purchases requested items for the kitchen at the lodge. And then at this time, we can have discussion if necessary. I put a PowerPoint on the website, and I also have it here that we can go through, but it kind of just explained the reasons, and it told how that the budget, the lodge does not make any profits from their food or drink. And they are in need of some items, and I had a list on the website too of the items that they were in need of. And we do have the money in our savings account. And as a matter of fact, we might need to spend even more of it because with what we're looking at, we are getting more than $10 interest dividend on our savings account. And it is First State Bank is giving it to the IRS. And since we are not really a profit social club, we're a nonprofit, we're not supposed to make money. So our financial review advisor, Kathy Reed, had shared that we really need to look into this and develop a strategy to earmark or to do something with that money. So it just so happened that this came about from Tommy and Sean, And they said I could go and get them if we need to. And that they would share if they had any, or they would answer questions if you had any questions. But that is the reason why I have approved it and would like to spend that amount of money. It's over $500. That's why we need a vote from the assembly. Since we are streaming this, those of you that are streaming, we are going to get ready to vote. So make sure that you're at your laptop. Those of you that are here, you'll be able to use your phone to vote. What I have done, well, first of all, is there any other discussion? Yes.
You're giving the money.
We are going to, yes, there is a process, yes. There's a process that we will have to do. Yes, the money, we have to go to the Lodge and the Tavern and express that there's a donation program here, as everyone knows. And Lodge is on it, Lodge and Tavern is on it, and we can make that donation for Lodge and Tavern, and then they will go to the Lodge and Tavern Committee, and the Lodge and Tavern Committee will go to the POA, and it will be purchased that way. Yes, Sandy.
How much money are you talking about?
It was up there, and it was $3,000 or almost 4,000.
Is it on the side?
It's, no,
You got the list?
no, I don't have the list with me. It was all on the website. It's about $4,000 though. It's like 3,300, something. That includes the shipping. And we have 18,900 in our savings account. And the list also showed, and I posted the list. So, well, if you just would wait just one moment, we'll go to that post and I can pull the list up so that you can see and we can give the exact correct amount. Yeah, just go, oh, you have to. Any other questions or discussion? Yes. Who said Julie? I'm sorry, Becky. Oh, that's right. When we get there, yes. If we have technology problems or anything, or if people don't have their phones or something, we do have a backup paper and pen for voting. So thank goodness for that. Barbara.
So you're wanting a motion to approve whatever the value, no greater than whatever
The value is.
the value.
Yes.
And that's your donation amount,
Yes, and then we will be handing the list to them and hopefully they'll.
and then be at the Lodge and Tavern and work on it. Also, I just looked on this, people are voting by saying yes because there is no link.
I didn't put the link up. According to Robert Rules of Order, they have to vote when we vote. And I did put that in the website and I told them this morning, I posted when we were going to vote that they needed to wait. So they might be saying yes, but that does not count. And we're getting ready to submit that, but
I don't know where, so their votes won't count.
no, because I told it has to be through the voting that we are doing, and I put that on there. I put this just this morning. I told them that there would be a link.
Okay. Oh, now there is.
There it is. Okay. This is down the bottom now.
Oh, here it is. It's 37, 33. That's on your voting.
What's on my voting thing?
It says all the-
Oh, the amount. I thought you were talking about. Okay, we're kind of passing things out, but we're not voting yet. We're still in the discussion stage, and I still have to then put the question forward to a vote according to the Robert rules. And Barbara, say it again. How much was it? 3,000?
3,733 and 29 cents.
3,733. Here it is. Here were the items. If you scroll all the way down, it will give you the amount. And the items were found, and they're good deals. As somebody even commented on that on the website. And I apologize, streamers, know that if you voted already, it is not going to count. You need to vote at the same time we do. And we're getting ready to post that link, but I'm hopeful that you will log back in, because what's going to happen is,
I'm just showing all of them, but I.
Yeah, just scroll down. Is there any other questions or discussion? You still are not going to have the link yet because we have not posted it yet.
Yeah, it is.
Did you post it?
Yeah. I've got it. It's here.
Okay, at this time, are there any questions? Then I am going to put the question forward now that, if you would, that it has been moved and seconded again by the board that KWC purchases the requested items for the kitchen at the lodge, that are $3,733 and some odd cents. And, we will get that through the donation, program through the POA. So you should have an email that has been sent to you if you are on the website that you can go to and click. Or if you have your paper, and then, yes, then you can vote yes or no, those of you that have paper. And then can I have somebody coming around with hats to get the votes, the paper votes? So if you have paper, if you want to fold it in half and hold it up.
I just posted it.
Okay.
Did you say updated link to vote?
It posted at 11.
Tina, you're causing trouble.
11:05 p.m. It's in this, in the feed.
We have just posted it, and Tina evidently has posted it online too. If you are having a problem, please raise your hand and we can always come and give you paper. We'll wait a couple more moments. Raise your hand if you're having any trouble. And I know that I'm just, like I said, this was my bedtime reading and I was really wanting to go and follow the Robert's Rules of Order. Now, when we are sure that everybody has finished their voting, then we can tabulate and I'll tabulate the results over there too, but not show it on the screen. And get back with you according to that, but we're still allowing a few more minutes for people to vote like me. Has everybody completed voting at this time? Everybody has completed voting? Yes? We're still gathering votes. Okay, we're still gathering votes, so we'll wait a couple more minutes.
Becky, can you come up here?
Okay, they're gonna go and calculate, yes. The paper votes, streamers, we hope that you are finishing up because we're getting ready to close down the link. And while we are doing that, let's go on. That was bad. That's pretty all right. Jeez, thank y'all so much. Let's go ahead and go on now to birthdays with Genevieve. Woo!
I got to do it again today.
Oh my, we can't came out here. People want to see you. They do. You look gorgeous. She does always look gorgeous. Excuse me. There we go. Okay.
Anyway, our leader is not available today, so we're going to do the birthday song. Now, remember this benefits our Ennis Road Scholarship, so please be as generous as you can. Now then, all able. Oh, thank you. I'm trying to get ahead.
You know what? We can do all of them. Ever.
All March birthdays, please stand up. Come on, girls, don't be shy. Let's start singing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. Now, thank you, Lisa. Now, I've got to introduce you to a sweet lady that's with us today. This precious lady is 90 today. Years, and she's one of my longest friends. That's her Michael vaccination. Is she really?
Donations coming around. All right, now get those tickets ready because we not only have one door prize, which is very beautiful. We have 9 total because there was a gentleman, Norm Bagham, that gave 8 VIP tickets for the Arboretum. So we are going to be giving those away too. And we thank you very much because he reached out to us and I thought that was very nice of him. So if we can go ahead and start the drawing with Bible study. Did the decorations today.
Thank you all very much.
And then, yes, you gotta share that number. And I've got tickets, so I'm not gonna. Hold your own mic.
Sharon, are you going to show them the beautiful one?
It's
Okay,
gorgeous.
whoever has 777255, you get to take that home today.
Okay, wait a minute. Woo, 777255. Oh, daggone.
Oh, come on.
I know all of these, and I don't have it.
777255.
Got it.
255. Who's got it? Woo! Gorgeous.
It took her a while.
I know. Okay, get ready. Here goes another one.
My gosh, they stick together. Okay, 976793. 976793.
Dig deeper.
You're a winner.
Woo! Yay!
Actually, it's my friend Karen, who's here from Iowa, so she.
You'll have to come back. I don't know. I think you might want to come back. Y'all, on those, there's just a picture of it. He's not going to be here till Thursday for the actual ticket, and then I'll deliver them to you.
Okay, the next one is 976929.
Oh, wait, I'm supposed to, 976. I don't know. What's her name? What's her ask?
All right.
Woo, newbie, yes.
Yes, her first time here. Okay, 778504.
Over here.
777586.
Come on. Oh, yes.
976734.
976-734. 976.
73. Yes.
It was hard to do that. That's cheating.
975101. How many more?
Yeah, because there's
976930.
Well, do you want us to, or you can have it? Aw, yeah.
Okay, 778758. 77875. This is the last one, okay? The very last one is 975806.
Oh, we got them all over the place. That's great.
All right, that was fun. But, all right, if there are, oh, sorry, I got all excited about my prize, I forgot. The vote is in, and we have counted it, and we have 80 yeses and 2 noes. So therefore, it has passed, and we'll be handing it off to the donation program. And I will get back with you and let you know further. And then I guess, I don't know, Debbie, can you see if Tommy's back here? Just have him come out and we can tell him that it has passed. And he will be getting some goodies. Oh, Tommy, guess what? It passed. Yay! So we're hoping that the lunch is very, very good. You didn't need those new items. Okay. Well, we just wanted to share that with you. And then Lisa just told me something, and oh my gosh, I totally forgot about it. But we now have a doctor in the house. So, good for you. Now, because I did the vote. Okay. If there are no other announcements, I'm going to turn the program over to Karen so we can get started.
Thank you.
Good morning, ladies. I know you're all glad to be back here. And I think we have a wonderful topic and 2 great speakers for today. I'm going to take very little time. I'm going to encourage all of you to get a membership to the Dallas Arboretum. 2 reasons. Please, we have our Vanna, our own Vanna White in the back. Thank you. You will save money, especially the family membership. And secondly, you will have an incentive to go. Make a day of it. It's wonderful. You can have tea, you can do the gardens, you can do pumpkins. The list is endless. I'm not going to go there because our speakers will cover all of those. I do want to make a little quick personal announcement. I had tea on a very cold and wet February day, and it was still wonderful. The fire in the fireplace, and after, when the rain had stopped, we walked around for about an hour. There was just enough light to give a glimmer to the leaves with the wet rain on them. So it doesn't matter when you go. It's beautiful in a different way each time. Now, our speakers today are Denise and Max Davis, who live 8 blocks from the Arboretum, have been docents there for many, many years. They're very active in their neighborhood, including the White Rock Lake, neighborhood associations. They do volunteer work at several other organizations. Denise, you're the one at the Bush Library?
Yes.
Okay. So these are people who have continued to serve their community, and we are so fortunate to have them here today. So I'm going to turn this over to them and let you be entertained as we learn about the joys and the beauties of the Dallas Arboretum, everyone's garden.
All right. Well, thank y'all very much for the warm welcome. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. Yep, almost afternoon, but still morning.
That's right.
I'm Max, and this is my lovely wife Denise. And as Karen said, we'll be tag teaming our presentation here. We've got a few slides for you. I think we'll go through the slides, and then we'll open it up for questions if you can remember your question till the end. If you can't, which we can't remember anything in 5 minutes, so flag us down and we'll try to answer as we go. Haven't been to the Arboretum. Where'd that doctor go? I got the spot on my hand here. There we go. Okay, that was. If you haven't been to the Arboretum before, and we had a young lady here that was here at the very opening, 1984. The Arboretum opened officially as an Dallas Arboretum and Botanical Garden in 1984. Before that, it was 2 estates. The estate of Everett and Nell DeGollier, who had 44 acres, and Alex and Roberta Camp, and they had 22 acres. So over the years, the Dallas City Parks and Rec Department has acquired both estates. We have both houses on campus. This is the entrance. Before I get into that, this is the entrance. You can see it's pretty much today's date because you've got the daffodils and the hyacinths blooming out in front, and that's about where we are right now. We've got tulips coming into bloom. They're not quite in full bloom yet, but it's a great time to be out at the Arboretum. This is the main entrance. If you've been there, you'll have seen it over the years. Next slide. This is the house, the home of Everett and Nell DeGollier. It was built in 1940. He told the architects, I want it to look 100 years old when it was built. And it's a Spanish colonial revival architecture, 21,000 square feet under tile roof. The DeGolliers were into oil, as you might expect in Texas. Local millionaires. They moved to Dallas from Montclair, New Jersey, where he was president and CEO of Amarada Hess Oil Company. Started his own consulting firm here in Dallas, which is still in business today in Dallas, DeGollier McNaughton. And so they were looking for land. They lived on Turtle Creek in Dallas, west side, and they were looking for some land, and they found a dairy farm. Now, this was 5 or 6 miles out from downtown Dallas, out on White Rock Lake. The lake had been there since 1910. So this is 1938, and they found this 44-acre plot. Mrs. DeGollier, they hadn't purchased it yet. And Mrs. DeGollier had a traffic accident. She was lying in bed, and her doting husband comes up and says, what can I do for you? And she said, well, that lake acreage out there on Garland Road would sure be nice. Yes, ma'am, was the answer. And next thing you know, they got 44 acres of dairy farm and turned it into a beautiful estate. Rancho Ensenada, the Ranch of the Oaks. Next slide would be the Camp House, Alex and Roberta Camp. Their story is not quite as much fun. They purchased the land in 1930 and they built the house in 38. And Mr. Camp passed away the same year and he never got to live in that house, unfortunately. But the Mrs. Camp was there until the early 70s when she passed away. Mrs. DeGollier was in her house until 72 when she passed away. And then both estates, 22 acres and 44 acres, are now property of the Dallas Arboretum Botanical Garden. It's a Dallas City Park, actually, and it's run by the Dallas Arboretum Foundation. The pond that you see, or the fountain in front of the camp house, was given by Mr. Fogelson, and his wife was Greer Garson, for those of you who remember the famous movie star. And so people ask us, well, is there a best time? What's your favorite time? When should I go to see the Arboretum? And our response is always, there's not a bad time to go. There's 4 seasons and they're all a little different. Most people, or a lot of people that have been to the Arboretum, go during autumn at the Arboretum when we have our 90,000 pumpkins. A lot of people go at Christmas time when we have our Christmas village and the 12 days of Christmas. But the other big festival we have is Dallas Blooms, and that's just starting right now. We plant over 500,000 bulbs, tulips, daffodils, hyacinths, probably some others. We get new tulip bulbs from Holland every year. So these are brand new bulbs. Some people say, well, can't you just let them stay in the ground or put them in the refrigerator and they'll come back next year? Well, that's true, but they're never quite as good the second year as they were the first year. So we bring brand new bulbs from Holland in every year. Next one would be, and just coming out are the cherry blossoms on the cherry trees. We have probably 50 to 60 different cherry trees, 5 or 6 different varieties. You can see up here, we got azaleas at the bottom, the blossoming cherry trees. And this is on the west side of the DeGollier home. And here's some more cherry trees that are out in the same area, the Johnson Color Garden. This is one of our statues. This particular statue is called Grande Amante, the Grand Lovers. And it's on loan from the Dallas Museum of Art, on permanent loan. And then the cherry trees and some other fruit trees are blossoming behind there. So a great time to be, and this cherry trees are just starting to come out. So you may want to give it a couple of weeks. But we've got in both the bulbs, the tulips, and the cherry trees, we have early bloomers, middle bloomers, and late bloomers. So it gives you, usually the blossoms on stuff lasts maybe 10 days. But the way we have it split up in 3 different groups, then you get about 30 days worth. So Dallas Blooms runs until April 11th. And so we're a little early right now. The freeze put us behind just a little bit, but luckily the snow covered everything. The bulbs were in the ground and kind of gave them a blanket over it and protected a lot of them. So we've been very fortunate. We're still going to have great blooms this year. This is the summertime. Now, so I'm going to go from the spring, where we're at right now, in the summer. This is the Johnson Color Garden in the summer, which is about 6 acres, 6.5 acres. Got red flowers, yellow flowers, some great trees behind me. I'm sure you master gardeners would know exactly what they are, but I don't want to misquote. This is another one of our lovely statues. This one's called the Nude. It's in the it's called what we call a woman's garden. It's directly north of the DeGollier home. And behind these lilies is an infinity pool, which looks out over White Rock Lake. Spectacular views, great for weddings and all kinds of events that take place. Wisteria all along the edge. We've got two kinds of wisteria. Most folks are common look is the purple, looks like grapes, gives you that grape smell. And that's what these are, the side of the garden, they have purple, and it's covered with completely white wisteria. Amazing when it's and that'll come pretty soon. This is spring. This is getting in more into summer. You can tell it's probably July or August because the crepe myrtles are blooming. This is an older picture of the crepe. These were planted. There's about 25 on each side, and they were planted by Mrs. DeGollier. So an initial garden plan, which was from 1940. These have been around 80 years. There's statues of frogs, about 5 high frogs at the end. They have a fountain going, very spectacular. The circle of flowers here. Part. This last year, it took about 14 semi trucks, 53-foot semi trucks, 14 of them loaded with pumpkins, gourds, and squash to fill up our garden. This is just one little area in the garden. About 50 different varieties of pumpkins, gourds, and squash, and they all come from one location, Floydada, Texas. Anybody knows where Floydada is? There's someone over here. There's always one in the crowd. Floydada is out near Lubbock, about 6 hours west of Dallas, Fort Worth. And we go to one farm. It's called the Pumpkin Pile, P-Y-L-E. It's run by the Pile family. And we get 90,000 pumpkins, gourds, and squash from that one farm. And that we take about 10% of their crop. That gives you an idea of how many pumpkins they're growing out there in West Texas. But in fact, interesting story. I had a gentleman one day, we were walking through and answering questions, and I said something about Floydada, and he goes, yeah. I says, I know where Floydada is. He says, I was out there one year. He says, as far as I could see, orange pumpkins everywhere. He said, it was amazing. And he said he got to talking to the guy. He said, when do y'all gonna harvest the pumpkins? And I said, we already did. He said, that's just the coals that are left. We've already harvested. He couldn't believe it. Okay. And what is normally known as Pecan Grove becomes in the fall the Pumpkin Village. We have pumpkin houses. We have pumpkin designs. There are pumpkins everywhere. This is the propensity of our 90,000 pumpkins show up in the Pumpkin Village. There's always a hay bale maze for the kids. They love that. The kids get to go in the houses, and usually there's a theme. One year it was Peter Pan. One year it was the Wizard of Oz, and we had the Yellow Brick Road. Yeah. This year it's going to be Bugtopia. Yeah, Bugtopia will be this year. So I'm sure there'll be all kinds of bugs stuff made out of pumpkins. So that'll be interesting. You don't want to miss that. So usually when we do our presentation, it's like, well, there's 3 or 4 times you got to go to the Arboretum. You can't go just once. You're going to miss something. Now we're getting into fall, closing fall and going into winter. This is, it's called the Maple Rill, red maple rill. Trees of the maple trees are just starting to turn. There's probably 120, 130 maple trees, about 80 different varieties that are along this little section. This is a section between the DeGollier estate and the Camp estate. It's got its own waterfalls and water rill that runs through it, a little creek. We recycle all of the water at the Arboretum. So it all gets reused, and just a beautiful area, peaceful. Taking us into winter time, this is the grotto, which is near the camp house. It's a man-made grotto, but and a large koi pond in front. You may have seen some pictures this last Snowmageddon that we just had. The waterfall froze, started freezing at the bottom, and eventually it was just a solid piece of ice coming down. It was amazing. Yeah. But there's always something to see. People say, well, I won't come in the winter time because there's nothing to grow, nothing to see. I'm like, forget that. There's something blooming every time. This is one of the 12-day gazebos from the 12 days of Christmas. This is looking over a women's garden. This is gazebo number 7. 7 swans are swimming. Each gazebo is about 23 feet tall. It has a cupola on top that's lighted that gives you the number 1 through 12, the 12-day song or poem. And then on the very top, you can see the weather vane. And on the very top of the weather vane, it's got a little cutout. It just shows you what's inside, gives you a hint as to what's inside. So that one's got a swan on it. This happens to be at night, so you can go, it's a whole different scenario when you go in the daytime or at night. Both beautiful. One's not any better than the other, but you don't want to miss going at daytime and at night. This is the entrance, the main entrance to the Daughrity home, and it's done up for Christmas every year. Unfortunately, we didn't have our guided tours this past Christmas, but we will open it up again this coming December, November and December. Each year at the Daughrity house, we have a gentleman named Michael. First name is Michael. You probably know. Anyway, he's been doing the decorating for Michael Hamilton, thank you. Doing the house decorations for 20 years. There's a lovely tree that he decorates in each room, and then he does the front like this. Usually there's some big nutcrackers, full, man-sized nutcrackers out in front. And we have collections. So we have different people that give us collections. This year is going to be nativity scenes. And we'll have probably 500-600 different nativity scenes, from ones that are the size of a peanut, all the way up to life size. One year we had a camel in the library, and we had Mary and Joseph outside in the patio area. So yeah, they come in all shapes and sizes. Foreign ones, American ones. And usually there's a pickle on every Christmas tree. It's a German tradition. Some people say it's a German tradition. Some people say it was a ambitious pickle salesman who overbought on the end, the plastic pickles, and then he had to get rid of some. So we started to. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it over to Denise to talk about a tasteful plate.
Okay, this is one of the newest areas that we have at the Arboretum called a Tasteful Place. It's a food and herb garden. The facility is about 3 years old now. Let me do an aside. This is why it takes 2 of us, because one of us usually forgets something, so the other one is there to kind of chime in. This was taken during autumn in the Arboretum. So this venue is available for rentals. We have weddings there. We have cooking classes in there. What used to be El Centro College usually has free cooking classes there. And then there are some others where you come in and you pay for those. Some will be floral arranging, and so you can come in and learn how to arrange flowers. And it also overlooks White Rock Lake. And so you get a great view of downtown Dallas. And so this is one of the venues for the wedding. And so it's just gorgeous at night when you have the sun going down and you get to see the lights of Dallas. This is another view. We also have some fruit trees and over on the other side of the building to the left, we have what, plum and apple and pear.
Pomegranate.
Yep, so all kinds of things there. This is designed so that when you go through this area, you will see what are the most popular things that you can grow in Dallas during this season. And so they give you the different varieties, and so you can go through and then pick what you want to grow, and then know that that's what's available. We also have, they're back, the free tastings. And so they pick a veggie hero of the week. And so if it's like a tomato, then you may get to sample a cold tomato soup or a hot spaghetti sauce and bruschetta. So there's like usually 2 or 3 things every day that they have between 10 and 4 that you can come and sample everything. They have the recipes right there. And so you can use your phone, take a picture, or go on our website, and we have the recipes there. This past week, we had, what was the veggie? No. It was something.
They had a cake.
It was a cake, and they made, it was like, like Swiss chard. It was chard, and so it was an apple chard cake. Oh my gosh, you've got to go online and get the recipe. It is wonderful. So all kinds of things that you can find out what we're growing. This is one of our latest acquisitions, is a state-of-the-art greenhouse. In the past, the Arboretum had to purchase all the plants that they had, and then they would, in the back of the Arboretum where you couldn't see, they were growing and acclimating these plants. Now, this is an 17,000 square foot state-of-the-art greenhouse. You can adjust it to make it warmer, colder. They were very concerned about it during the freeze, but it survived with just minimal amount of issues. You can, for shade plants that you need, there are awnings that go over and block the sun, or if it needs, direct sun, it'll be set up for that also. Then once we're ready for growing them, then we take them outside and we let them acclimate a little bit to the weather because they've been used to being inside. So they acclimate, and then this is only about 6 miles from the Arboretum. So we put them in trucks and load them and get them planted.
One of the great things we've learned is that before we used to buy the plants. Of course, they'd come in, they were small, of course, they're all green. Well, what colors are they? Well, it says pink, but they get pink, or you're gonna get a light pink, dark pink, we don't know. Now, we know, our horticulture team, they know exactly what they're getting, and they can control when they get it. So it works out a lot better for everybody.
It is a great savings to the Arboretum to be able to, a lot of these plants are now being grown from seed. And so if you can buy a little bitty one, maybe you don't have the seeds, but you've got the little bitty plants. Well, now you don't have to purchase all the huge ones. We have different kind of festivals also during the year, other than Dallas Blooms and Autumn in the Arboretum and Holiday in the Arboretum. This one was a sculptor by the name of Gary Lee Price. He had an exhibit called The Great Contributors. And so there were pictures of Einstein, there were pictures of the Wright brothers, and this one happens to be William Shakespeare. And if you look on the bench, you can see all kinds of little things that talk about the crown. For King Lear, you've got comedy and tragedy. On the back, there's a globe for the Globe Theater. On the back, there is Romeo and Juliet, and then some little fairies for Midsummer Night Dream. And this was donated to the Arboretum by the Dallas Shakespeare Society. So this was a nice acquisition. How many of you were able to go to the Arboretum in 2012 to see Chihuly? This was probably the most attended exhibit that we've had and the most adored. We were able to, this is kind of when we got started in volunteering at the Arboretum. And so when Max talked about the infinity pool, well, this was what I still remember when I see the infinity pool. I remember the 2 boats full of different glass orbs and different glass that's put in there. And then you had some of the others, the sun, and the other one was called something about Dallas.
That was the Dallas Cowboy.
Yes, exactly. It was
Dallas
something about Dallas Star, I think, yes. And so that was a beautiful time. And in fact, Max and I were volunteering the night we had a hailstorm. And we were just in the volunteer office, couldn't imagine what we were gonna find when we got out there. There were 2 waves of hail that came through that night. There was only one that was impacted. And so instead of going to the Persian pond and seeing these giant water lily kind of glass, we had to have it closed off because Mr. Chihuly does not like anybody to see anything that is not in perfect condition. So instead of telling people about it, we showed them a picture and said, if you could have gone in, this is what you would have seen. Come back in 3 days and you'll be able to see it again, because they had spare parts just in case for something like that. So we were fortunate.
Only one impacted out of like 19 different exhibits.
Okay, this was from Zimskull that we had 2 years or 3 years ago. This are sculptors from Zimbabwe that come, and they have sculptors that on site that are doing different things. Plus we have a lot of finished sculpture that are around the garden. Beautiful. The good news is this is coming back this year. So in the summer, when you think that there are no flowers around, you can at least come see the sculptures and the flowers that we typically have.
Well, it's going to be here for Artscape too, I believe. Check the website for the exact date.
For those of you who have been to the Arboretum over the years, you will remember a few years ago when you would park down in front of the Country Western place about half a mile from the Arboretum, and you'd get on a bus and they would bus you up to the Arboretum. We no longer have that problem. Now we have our own parking garage. The good news is it's across the street from the Arboretum, but you don't have to cross any roads. So you think about Garland Road being there and how busy that is. We have an underground tunnel that'll take you through. Kids love it. And so you go under Garland Road and then come up and you're right there by the children's garden. And speaking of the children's garden, Rory Meyer's Children Adventure Garden. You know, I don't know when they're going to change the name of this, but I keep telling them it's not only kids that like this place, it's the adults as well. I think we should just take out the children. But anyway, I don't have a say in it. So this is 6 years old now. It is based on STEM-based learning. So the kids are there and they're learning all kinds of stuff and they don't even know it. And so they have labs 3 times a day at 11, 1, and 3. And they're changed usually every couple of weeks. And so it's really popular with home-based education. The groups can come in and do the labs and can, whether you're with a group or by yourself, you can come in. We also have people that will ask us, do you have any blue bonnets in the Arboretum? And we say, yes, we do. It's right there on the fence. Those are the only blue bonnets that you'll find in the Arboretum. This is called the Oasis and the Exploration Center. The Exploration Center is down on the bottom and flowers are growing above. This is where we also plant butterfly friendly plants up there. And so we're on the migration path. And so twice a year, we usually get just thousands of butterflies coming through, which is a sight to see. In the Exploration Center, that's where we have the labs that they have. And then we have what is called the, thank you, Omniglobe. There are only 5 in the state of Texas, and we're fortunate enough to have one there. And it has all kinds of programs on it that have been furnished by NASA. And so what I like about it in the fall is you can show what the weather was like last week, yesterday, what it's like today. So you can show the kids where the hurricanes are coming in, you know, and you can see that swirling pattern there. You also have a lot of information on the planets. If you're a volunteer there, you don't even have to be smart. They give you some clues in there about what you're looking at, and you seem to be really intelligent. And until the kids ask you questions. Like, is Pluto a planet? And then I have one little kid over there saying, no, it's not, it's a dwarf planet. My favorite place, First Adventure. It is geared towards preschool and younger. This is a place where they can go in, the littler ones can go in and not feel that they're going to be run over by the big kids. And so this is a great place. We have a giant ant in there that they can crawl on. You ask the kids, you know, is this an ant or is this a spider? And they'll tell you because they know how many legs they have. I'd have to ask Max which one it is. And then they have a sandbox and they have 2 little water features in there. They have things that they can crawl on, crawl under. They have a little maze for the kids to go through. It's a fun place. And then we have our Cool Thursday concerts. The good news is they are back. For the spring, we will have the Cool Thursday concerts. We have typically tribute bands that come in. So it may be the Eagles, it may be George Strait, it may be Elvis. I don't think Elvis is here this year. And so they have food trucks down there that you can purchase food, or you can bring in your own wine and food. And so you put down a little blanket and get comfortable. This is located right behind the camp house. Okay, little information. We have all kinds of brochures up there. And if you're interested in purchasing a membership, I have a little card that I'll give you, and there's a number on there that you can call to get a membership.
That's for new membership.
That's for new membership only, but it's 10% off. And so you just call this number and tell them you've got the card, and they'll give you a 10% discount. So as we talked about, it's nice to have the membership, because all you really have to do is come 2, maybe 3 times, and the membership pays for itself. Plus, if you get like a family membership, good for 6 people, 2 cars. So if you have family that's coming in and you're coming in 2 cars, you get 2 cars. That's 2 cars coming in, that's $30 right there. So it indeed pays for itself. The other thing is, I know it's a long way to come, but you could volunteer there. But I don't know how you guys are gonna come visit us because you're so busy with all the activities you've got going on up here. But I hope you really do come and visit us. We have a lot of volunteers, and so there's something for everybody. If you like to play in dirt, you can, put the tulips in the ground or plant flowers. If you like to go around and tell people about the arboretum, about the Daughrity house, you can do that. You can be a sample server at a tasteful place. You can work in the children's garden. You can walk around with a sign like Max and I do that says, "Ask me." And so we'll go around and get all kinds of questions. The number 1 question, by the way, that we get if we're holding those signs is, "What should I ask you?" The second most popular question is, "Where's the nearest restaurant?" Is that it? And we bid a fond farewell to the Arboretum. But once again, this kind of gives you an idea of what it looks like from a tasteful place looking at downtown Dallas.
White Rock Lake, of course, was one of the 2 first reservoirs for drinking water for the city of Dallas, if you are familiar. A lot of people come to Dallas, they didn't even know White Rock Lake's area. It's so small now, you've got, I guess, it's smaller than Kiowa, I'm sure. I don't know. Anyway, it's certainly smaller than Ray Roberts and some of the same time. Okay. Well, Dallas would suck it dry in about a day too. So we've got Lake Texoma and other big reservoirs now, but that's how it got started. And we'll open it up for questions. If anybody has a question about, yes, ma'am.
What do you do with all the tulip bulbs you dig up? You sell them?
Good question. What do we do with all the bulbs that we dig up? No, we do not sell.
No, send them to our house.
No, we, like we do with a lot of the flora and fauna, we grind it up and mulch it, use it for mulch. The pumpkins, what do we do with the pumpkins? Well, we get 90,000 pumpkins after we're finished, at the arbor. Well, if they're in good shape, and luckily this last year, we had a short season and we had to get into Christmas, so we didn't have the pumpkins out in the open as much, and we didn't have as much rain in the fall. So the pumpkins were in pretty good shape, the gourds and the squash. There's actually a gourd society in Dallas. They came and picked up the gourds, and I guess they made dippers or something out of them. Anyway, so somebody got the gourds. At least 1 truckload of the pumpkins went to the Dallas Zoo, because we're a city park and so is the Dallas Zoo. So we're sister parks, and we gave some of them. The hippopotamus love them, and the elephants like to play with them. And, so, and then what does not get used? Oh, one more.
We had the pig farm.
Oh, pig farm came and got a good supply. Yeah. And then we mulched everything else. Yeah. Good question. Yes, ma'am. Do we have a rose garden? Yes, we have at least two rose gardens. One was planted by Mrs. Daughrity as part of the 1940 garden layout plan. It was done by a gentleman named Berger, I believe. It's right just to the east of the Daughrity home. It's kind of a small circular little rose garden. And then from the Daughrity house going east, you go past the constitutional pecan, which is one of the oldest trees in the garden. It was here when the U.S. Constitution was written. So it's over 300 something years old. And you go into the sunken garden, which was again built by the Daughtry's. One of the grandsons told us he remembered playing croquet with his grandparents in the sunken garden. You go back through the sunken garden and up the steps and into another rose garden over there. So there's at least 2 rose gardens that I'm aware of. Yeah. We also have a camellia garden. A lot of people mistake all the camellias blooming for roses. When you're just walking by on the paseo, you look over and see all these beautiful red, pastel flowers. So nice roses, not a one. Probably got 200 camellia bushes. These are roses, by the way. Good question. Any other question?
Damage did you have this past month?
How many
How much damage?
damage? We're still waiting. If you read Neil Sperry, he said, don't go cutting stuff back or digging it up yet. It's too early to tell. Go to the base of a bush and kind of scratch it and see if it's still green. If it's still green, you're probably going to have it's still alive and you'll be in good shape. So we have azaleas that look pretty bleak right now. We have camellias that look like you might think they were dead, but I think they'll all be back. So very little, overall, very little damage. Didn't lose any big trees or anything like that. So.
Did you know of yet?
That we know of, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's the same way with drought. A tree will die from drought, and it may look good for 2 or 3 more years, and eventually it's awful. Oh, that's right. So if you're going to come, if you're either going to join the Arboretum as a member and come, or you've got a free membership or something here, we are doing during this pandemic times, we are doing timed entry. So you can't, in the past, you just drive up the Arboretum, you show up and you walk in, pay your money. Now we're doing timed entry. You need to go onto the Dallas Arboretum website, dallasarboretum.org, and pick out a day that you're going and then a time. And the times are throughout the day, and you get a 4-hour block. So if you put in a time of 9 o'clock, which is when we open normally, that'll get you 1 o'clock. Thank you. Yeah, that'll get you a 4-hour block. And I don't know, I haven't seen any time police going around throwing anybody out, but theoretically, you've got a 4-hour block to be there. So we're trying to maintain some sense of management of time and population at the garden still. We've been we opened it back up to the public in June of 2020, after being closed for a couple of months. And we're at 50% capacity now, which is still a lot of people, over 66, you spread them over 66 acres. That's, we can get quite a few folks in. The parking garage, Denise showed you, that holds over 1,000. Our regular parking near gate 1 is about 1,000 people. So, yes, ma'am.
For handicap, do you rent scooters or anything like that?
We do not rent mechanical scooters. We do have wheelchairs that are free on a first come, first served basis. We do rent little wagons, plastic wagons, for children, or if you're bringing a picnic or something. Yeah, but not electric scooters. Our trams, we do have trams driven by our professional tram drivers. They'll take you from one end of the garden and back. In the past, they've been more of a tour vehicle. So talk to you camp house and this garden, all the different features in this. With the pandemic, right now they're pretty much ADA. So if you need a wheelchair or you don't have one, we don't have one, get on the tram and they'll take you through after dark.
Sometimes during festivals, it gets really crowded in the garden, and so then the tour will run. So it's always good to kind of check ahead.
Yeah, don't end on being able to pick up a tram automatically. So if you're coming with an elderly friend, someone, not 90.
too good there, Steve.
Be sure you bring adequate.
She'll make it, trust me.
All right, what else can we tell you about the Arboretum?
You guys did awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Now, at this time, I was reminded by somebody, Becky, thank you. Somebody had asked if they could donate money to collect Easter eggs or to get some eggs. And I said, sure, tell them, yeah, I'll take it. But yes, you can, and we will put that towards the candy and the Easter eggs. And I would like to get it, but if you give it to a board member, that's okay too. And I think now then, oh, and the herb garden
Yeah,
is,
they said they got tied up with something, so come back over the next few days, and out here on the side, you'll start to see it take shape.
it's a work in progress.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and is that what?
This room,
Oh, it's for money. Becky wants your money now. So if you got money now and it's your money to give, then you can certainly.
If anybody doesn't bring eggs and you ask me, somebody says.
Jay. Okay, thank you again. It was wonderful. And I guess I can't say it, but I love it and I can't wait to go. So, I mean, I was not aware that it had all of these different things. So I love it. Before I adjourn the meeting, I'd like Becky to come up to give the invocation.
Julie, the restaurants are open again at the Arboretum,
Oh, the restaurants are open again at the Arboretum.
or you can bring your picnic lunch.
Our picnic lunch. At this time, Becky.
You'll bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we just praise your name and we thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for each one of these ladies that are here. Thank you for the presentation from the Dallas Arboretum. Thank you that you have the creation, Lord, that you have made is just so awesome that we get to go and enjoy it. Lord, I ask that you bless the food that we are about to partake of. Bless the hands that prepared it in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Amen. And I'm trying to find my gavel. This meeting is adjourned.
Thank y'all.
How you doing, lady? Oh, well, not all those are here. We're limited right now. I think it's about 30. Yes. Yes. I also have a neighbor who has never been I did it, and then I thought, right now. Yes, that's right. Yeah. I don't know that
Sneak behind you. Maybe back up on the tripod.
Go out that way, go back. I love it. Do you miss your foundation? No. Were they impressed? Because they know what it is. Oh, really? Every time I read a lot of this mystery, I read like that, it's either a run or something like that. Oh, you talking about? Oh. Yeah. I read the papers. One house right low, the dust bowl, had the dust bowl. Texas where that was from. Healthy mystery. Oh, wow. Three of them are paid mark. And she writes her wit. It's always a woman. Real strong girl. One was paid for. She would go, she was like a woman, she'd go around to a stage. It's only 30. Sometimes, I also am rereading all my and with that, too, I think and that's what I do. One, and long enough, all of them, you know, I did. In the book. Right. Oh, just a character, yeah. I just cannot get into the modern day one press. I like it. I like it, but not. And then when you went and had a fighting scene, I went, "No, that's not well." And then I like Margaret in general. I do not like her. Because right now I'm the only one that has to. And she is so. Oh, I know. I should. I was all and I don't ever get rid of it. So all I have to do is go and off and start looking at the one. But the other one that I just finished is also really good. So the bestseller. Both of those are. Midnight Library. Really good. Really good. It is a good book. Yeah, it really does. I mean, it's it's one of those things. I like the books that you're still thinking about it. That
I know.
And I didn't know that.
Okay, they're the authors. They're the writers. They're not what the story's about. They're the authors. And I'm always looking for new ones. That sounds familiar, but so I don't read much of it. Oh, okay. I don't know. Wow. What do you mean when you say page with an I? And Victorian murders? Did you think so? Okay. The other one, and I don't think you're the one who told me about it, but it was someone at one of those places. So you're saying the husband and wife, you would, but her name's not showing up here. He's involved in rape also? Oh, that they're writing under pseudonym. Oh, perfect. Perfect. So I could start right there with number one. Oh, okay, that's great. Except for one. Now this one, actually, I forgot about her. She was one of my all-time favorites. Is Deborah Crombie. I met her. I went to her book page. She signed a book for me. Well, I've read all of her books now, but my book club was going to read one of hers, and I picked up the wrong one, and I read it, and it was like, I think she has 16 maybe. She has something like that. She has a lot. Well, this was like number 7 or 8. But you know what? I really loved it. And then I went back and read the first one, and you know, it was y'all know the stories of the people involved. Well, it was the one I read already had them together. So when I read the first one, and I'm going, are they, I didn't have to, I didn't. But normally I do. And I tell you, the other one was absolutely blows everyone else out of water. Oh my God. I need to you're the first person I know who's read that. Other than my daughter, the one in Seattle who introduced me to her. Isn't she wonderful? She just one comes out every August now. Yeah. Are you the one who told me about her? Someone did, yeah. I did start reading. I did, and I like him too. I don't. It's the first one I've never read that takes me to the book, but I have been there to Venice once. But it is cool reading them. It's a little, you know. I don't get no, definitely not. You got a buddy? All right. Do I need to put that in there? No. Good. Here adjourned. Oh, good. Nothing else gets in the notes.
But it doesn't have a head like you see my face.
That might be a little less scary.
Well, it is.
That's what's going to happen. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, I was looking. I have 2 grandkids in the Dallas area, and I really look closer especially the Fridays and children over that. And I was looking at that, and I thought, now he's now. My sister is now 11, 12. She would think she's too old, so he probably wouldn't think. Took the children off like you suggested, and it's just like keep going. Because it was they do they do like all the climbing and messing with things, and I just don't think. Oh, yeah. Oh, I bet. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know it's hard for you in church, but. Yeah. Yeah, longest trip. I've been to Now, one of the things that the overall region is very used to get our that usually and it didn't make, it wasn't that much. Harmony. Right, right. Probably now they're so excited because there's some. Oh, there was so much, and there was so much family food, and just, yeah. Right. It better to be outdoors. Might be careful.
Yeah. You know, what, right here.
Running late. Yeah. What you haven't had yet? 2:30, 3:00 today. So it's all supposed to be like $30. And then I'm supposed to you know, poor Jenny, and it seems to be true. No, it's not. It's, you know, is this from mine? Okay. If you want to set that down, then I promise that it's still there. I'm gonna say- So, I don't know if I can.
But you know what? I think their attitude.
Yeah.
This is what's happening.
Yeah. Barbara, that's why. Well, you know, that's what that's the other reason I'm gonna go there now, because they were all for it. Oh, well, when I went, they were like, and they had the road blocked out there in one lane. Well, I know. Well, I think they had some, brick problems, and it may be with that kind of, whatever that thing is that goes through the front yard. And maybe one of those trees grew to the house. But they had a road to his house. Yeah, well, I said, I was supposed to go there yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to do that. But he was everything. But you know where her house is. And you can cross the street and it's on the other side of the fence, so it's not in Lake Kiowa, right? Well, there's like 3 different pads now. I think it's either you, Virginia, across the street from her, and then you have there's a house, there's a framing already up, and then there's like 3 more pads that have pads are out. I can't even figure out where to their front. But at what point do you turn? I've been able to figure out where you can turn from that road outside. Yeah, but they've got to be somebody in there. Those trucks are in there somehow. Oh, yeah. And that's the kind of like, yeah. It is our way. So if you
What needs?
But something has to be, I mean, when the water goes out, it goes through a lot. It's like, right, it goes out through the connection. And that what? Yeah, really. Yeah. And I've always wondered that. You'll be right there. I'm going to take the ones on my side and I'll come back there. So that's what we're going to get. Now, are you playing?
She's like, well, there'll be a text coming out from the first thing, something better, or something.
I will, well, you wait, send that to everybody or just to you and you put it all together? Okay, and then mention something to Sherry, like Sherry, if you want to come in and ride with us, fine, or if you want to meet us there. Okay, all right. And you're playing golf tomorrow. If there's no rain, I'll be there. Is 10:30 the earliest one or is it? It's okay. Oh, we are? Sherry can't, yeah, and she's not, and Sarah's not. You're right. I don't know what we should do. Really, I just like the time. Well, yeah, but I'm probably gonna stop at 9. I stop at 5, so I'll probably stop at 9, so we can play 5 that long, and I can always pick up. I can move along if things are slowing down. I just want to get out there. Okay, so we'll keep the 10:30. So want to be there about 10:15? Okay. If the creek don't rise. It was a wonderful presentation. Wonderful. I'm so pumped now.
All right. Love to have you.
I know, 'cause we're all doing other stuff. Yeah.
Was that a good choice?
Yes.
Okay.
Now when are we going?
Whatever you want. And Jamie,
I remember going to the Arboretum when I lived in Denton. I would take my girls there. I would literally take them, let them run around some, and I would study.
yeah, well, because it was so perfect for that.
Yeah, well, and it wasn't near as busy back then.
No,
Because that
you
was
go
in
in
the
the middle,
90s.
and you probably could go in the middle of the week or off times, which I try to do still.
Sometimes, yeah,
Try to
but
avoid the weekends.
Now I can.
Yes. Well, you know, moving up here from San Antonio, so we did all that with Ben when he was little. Well, now we're discovering the area with his kids.
Yeah,
Which is
so I
nice.
used to love to go there, and I'm like, I want to go. So I got one of their things. I was gonna just give them
Well,
one of my membership things, but if I can call and get a
just
discount,
for a discount.
I'm gonna call.
What I've learned since we have a membership, when we take the grandkids, it's not for you to look because you're watching them. Now, you do share some things with them. So I went by myself with a friend, with Lucy Sutton one day.
Oh, really?
And then both of us talked about how nice it was. My husband said, okay, well, let's go back. Let's take Bob and Vicki Adsit. Well, so it's only adults. So the third time when we were taking the kids, it was okay.
Yeah.
So we didn't feel like we were kind of missing
All
out
you
on
had to
anything.
do was just follow them.
Right.
Hi,
I will see you Tuesday.
I'll see you Tuesday, and we're having circus next month.
We're having,
The circus next month,
yes.
we're a repeat of last month.
Well, she didn't do it last.
No, I know she didn't do it, but we're having the same thing. I mean, that's so exciting. I'm so glad you did that.
Okay, well, and you know, what we couldn't do, I'm on that committee, Jamie, so I know one more time. But don't change the theme, that would be, oh,
You doing programs next year? What?
These are pretty, and don't you think they can be thrown away? Look at this.
I think they can blow that.
Thank you.
That's ridiculous. How did you get that?
So we do see it some.
We're stuck. We're stuck. Yes. I've got those ones.
But as far as next month, but I don't know how long it's going. I would say 10 tops.
I know, but we'll try. I will try.
Can you have them just start serving food?
Well, so she was
So as we put this together, we have all the pictures. We're trying to get it ready for communication. And yeah, and then we're gonna start doing the video. We're throwing, some pictures from the board. Fashion shows, people little stuff here, different fun stuff. So I can't see if we can all sit and stare. And so, but try to do a little snippet of me doing, talking about the fashion show and, we've got a great plan, we're gonna bring out some of our decorations. By then it won't be. I don't think it could be, but, I don't know. I just don't want to tell anybody that. Just in case it falls through. Oh, no, I'm talking about what we're doing next week. Oh, we can't figure out how to make this. None of us are professionals.
Yes, I was excited they showed the STEM garden tonight. She goes, even some adults have in the back one. That's what my dissertation was on, was STEM. Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
Next time I had to put it backward.
Beyond me.
Right, you too, right? Next time you use her.
Right now, that's what you got, right?
It's okay.
I love this.
I think we're done.
I worked with them after I graduated, and that's all I managed. And I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
I didn't care, no.
I didn't get any free, I'm still managing mine too. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes. April,
Well, I guess I need to turn this off.
I'm changing a couple things, so I'm gonna send you a brand new one. Don't run the one from February.
What was it again?
Life is a three-ring circus.
I'll wait for that.
So it's 99%, but I'm changing a few things that Lucy asked me to change.